All right, the webcam stopped working, so you're just gonna have to listen to my lovely voice. But I decided to split these videos into two. I thought I could fit it in one, but I decided it would be better if we just split it in half. So now that we know how to format out our paper, which, like I said, once you get the beginning part set up, the rest of the paper is actually pretty easy. So where we left off, everything's in Times New Roman 12, everything's double spaced. I inserted my page numbers with my last name. I have my name, the name of the instructor, the name of the class, and the due date. And then, of course, I centered my title here, and then I aligned left, and I tabbed in, and now I can start my paper. Type, 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 blah, blah, blah. I go all the way to the end. As you can see here, once you get to the bottom, you'll see a works cited. So once you're done typing, the works cited, in my personal opinion, is the most complicated part of MLA formatting. So I'm going to go through this quickly, but hopefully helpfully enough to give you a little bit of info. Oh, but there are a lot of resources out there to help you with doing this. We just recently switched to something called MLA 8. So when I was in high school and college, it was MLA 7, but now they've updated a few things to, I believe, simplify the formatting a little bit more. But let's take a look. So a works cited is when you give credit to the authors of the information you took and put in your own paper. Whether it's directly taken or if you took it and interpreted it, you still need to give them credit where it's due. And it's if you used it in this paper. So if we look here, we can see that there is a parenthetical citation in this paragraph. So this writer took this example of Danish voters directly from Levering's paper without changing it. So that's why there are the quotation marks there. And then, of course, as you do, whether or not you took it directly or not, you will, in parentheses, put the last name of the author and then the page number you took it from. You can also say, in Levering's article, blah, 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 and then you can just put 8 there. So it lets you know that that's the page number you got it from. So now let's look and see. It looks like they may have forgotten to put, oh, okay, that's because this is an example. So if that was actually in my paper, you would put Levering would be alphabetical somewhere here, because it is alphabetical. So F, so then Levering would go here. But this article, since it's about citing sources and that's what they're using, these are all the authors and stuff. But let's take a look here. So I made a slideshow here that kind of gives you information on how to do a works cited and what the purpose of a works cited is. So you can see here that it's your responsibility to give proper credit to your sources. One, because they deserve that, and two, you can get in huge trouble if you don't give them that credit anyway. So it's good for everyone around that you give credit where it's due in the proper formatting using MLA. So, of course, as I've already talked about, Times New Roman, double spaced, aligned left. So this is where it gets different. In a works cited, instead of being aligned left and then tabbed in first, the first line will stay aligned left. And then if you make a second line in that same citation, then you tab in. It's always organized alphabetical order by last name. And then if there is no author, you're going to use the title of the article. And then once you start organizing it on a page, if there is no author and no date, you just don't put anything there, which is different from what I did when I was in school. So this is what a works cited looked like. So you can see the page number and is still in the header there. 1-inch margins, which I already talked about in the last video, double spaced, 12-point font, Times New Roman. All right, so the entries are in alphabetical order by last name. So Boyer Holly and Amy Graham. Boyer obviously starts with a B, and that goes before these letters, so she goes first. So we've got author name, period, name of the article, period, and then name of the source you got it from. So user services quarterly, that seems like some sort of either, it looks like some sort of journal. And then you give the volume and number, and then when it came out. Usually it's a month and year thing, and then the pages, period. So notice how there are no periods in between that. Then you let us know where you got this information from. So the information's from reference and user services, but what website did you find it on? Academic search complete, and then usually you provide either the link to it or the DOI number, and then the last time you accessed it. And you'll see that it's 23 June 2016. So you always put the number before the month and then the year. Same thing, right? We've got Code Lorena, or Cody, I don't know, period. Title of the article, period, quotation mark. And then you can see this is the journal that it came from, the volume number, the volume, the number, and then so sometimes it's a month or a season usually, because if this is a quarterly, it'll come out 4 times a year, page numbers, and then again, this person used this host, Academic Search Complete, to find this article, provide the link, and then gives us the access date. So this is what I made recently last year when we were reading the Diary of Anne Frank. We were doing a research paper on all sorts of stuff, so I just used Anne Frank's. Obviously, these don't all link together very well, but I just wanted an example of one article without the name of an author and then 2 that do. So there was no author name listed here. So the first thing I did was I put the title in. Since the title starts with an A, it will go at the beginning. And then this was the website I got it from. And then this is so this is just the name of the website. And then United States Holocaust Memorial Museum is the actual publisher, is what it's called. And then I gave the link to the actual article, period, 26 Nov 2019. If it's a longer date, so if it's May, June, July, those months you don't need to abbreviate, but if you get to November, September, December, you can abbreviate those with the first 3 letters. Period. Done. Here's another one. Author last name, first name, period, name of the article, period, name of the website, period, and then the publisher, which a lot of times the website name and publisher will be the same, but not always, because sometimes the website's owned by a parent company that's even bigger. Comma, date, comma, link, period, date accessed. And you can put accessed here, but I don't. I don't think it's required. I think I was supposed to put a comma there as well. Oh no, that's my access date. Cool. So that's what it looks like. And these are just, so this is more annotated bibliography stuff, which is basically a works cited plus a summary of the article that you read. And that's just to give you some information. So here's me doing an annotated bibliography. So I already made my works cited. So all I did was paste that here. And then I give information on why was this published, what kind of information does it give, and was it informative to me, what did I use it for? If you're ever confused about MLA formatting, there's a wonderful source called owl.purdue.edu. And they give not only information on MLA formatting, but all styles of formatting. So Chicago style, APA, which is what I used to have to use. I used Chicago for a couple of papers I wrote in a history class I took. It gives just information on anything you could ever want. So we're in the MLA general here. Here's basics. Okay, how do I insert a quote in a paper? Well, look at this one. Endnotes and footnotes. I don't use those. A lot of MLA papers don't. Usually you see that in Chicago style or APA. Here's how to do a works cited, which I just talked about. So the basic rules, what it would look like, if there's something that's missing, if there's no known author, all that information is there for you already. And then, well, what if it's a book? What if it's a website? What if it's a YouTube video? All of these things are here for you to use. They're free. Here's a sample paper, sample works cited. And then this, of course, just gives you some information on the changes if you're old like me and you were using a different style of MLA before. So that's what I really like about this website is if you do have questions, it's important for you to be able to solve a problem on your own and find your own answers to certain things because I'm a teacher and I teach English. Even I sometimes forget the rules, and I go to this website to actually help me figure out maybe if I made a mistake or something, or um, what if there is no publisher? I can't find the publisher. What would I do? All of that's on there for me to use, which is very helpful. Um, so you can see here, there are such things called a citation generator. You, as it says here, use these responsibly and with caution. They do their best if you have all the information, but sometimes the formatting doesn't carry over. So I might put an article in here or I might put the date, but it might not pick that up and it might be jacked up. So your best bet is to find it on your own and put it together. I would really avoid using this. And I know that sounds like such a teacher thing to say, but I tried using these when I was fresh or when I was in high school toward the end of my career of secondary school, and it was horrible. And I ended up having to change and look for stuff to fix anyway. So in the long run, I ended up saving myself more time just by doing it myself. So hopefully that information is a little more helpful about how to do a works cited page and just in general, like I said, formatting MLA, because this stuff doesn't go away, at least when you're in high school. And if you choose to go on to post-secondary education, you will see this for a long time. So um, thanks for watching, and I hope that this information will help you out. Thanks. Bye.